This building behind me was once the Walking Horse Hotel right here in Wartrace. As you can see right over here, that is the building. And this marker is Strolling Jim, the first world's champion Tennessee walking horse, who was buried in a pasture directly behind the Walking Horse Hotel. Foaled in 1936, this former workhorse was ridden to the championship by Floyd Carruthers at the first walking horse celebration at Shelbyville in 1939. Jim died in 1957 in the pasture where he spent his last years. So right here, Wartrace, Tennessee, let's get it. Yo, this is P9 and I'm coming at you with another video. And now I am in Wartrace, Tennessee. Wartrace, Tennessee is a small town located northeast of Shelbyville, and it has a population of 653. So you blink twice if you're passing through here en route to Shelbyville from Manchester, Tennessee. You blink twice, you might miss this place. But this is Wartrace, and I happened to run across this town. It wasn't originally on the itinerary, but I found it, like the small town appeal to it, so I was like, let me stop and get a vlog. Now this marker is part of the Tennessee Music Pathways, and it is of Jimmy Cleveland. Jazz trombonist Jimmy Cleveland was a versatile musician whose work was largely confined to other artist sessions, pit orchestras, and broadcasting. Among the artists he backed were Quincy Jones, Miles Davis, James Brown, Billie Holiday, Cannonball Adderley, Ray Charles, and Dinah Washington. His influence and precision on the valve trombone, together with his warm tone and rich blues feel, made him greatly in demand for several decades. So James Cleveland was born in Wartrace on May 3rd, 1926. By 1930, the family was living on Knob Creek Road. Cleveland's father was a plumber who owned his business. Cleveland found a trombone in the loft of a local store when he was 16, and his father bought it for him. He worked in his father's business until his enlistment on January 2nd, 1945, toward the end of the Second World War. After discharge in 1946, he attended a historically black college, Tennessee State University in Nashville, where he performed with the Tennessee State Collegians Band. He also led a small group that performed in local clubs. So Jimmy Cleveland was part of the TSU band at New York's Carnegie Hall for the Pittsburgh Courier's Poll Winners Jazz Concert. So he also performed with another big band leader by the name of Lionel Hampton, who hired him on the spot. So Cleveland was a huge deal back during that time. And also RIP to Quincy Jones, who recently passed away. Quincy Jones had lived with him, or excuse me, had worked with him. Him and Quincy Jones weren't too far apart in age. But here we go. Right here in the heart of Wartrace. You have a Southern Goods mercantile store right here. And you have an art company, Shelton's Art Company, which is currently closed. So this is a small little railroad town. They have a railroad stop across the street, which we'll get to after a while. But here goes the building for Welcome to Wartrace. You know, they have the Christmas trees up now since we are approaching the holiday season. And right over here you have the double apartments. Let me go over here and check this out, because these are some really antique buildings. So this looks pretty nice. They have the curvy stairwell, as you can see. Let me check this out right here real quick. This building right here is known as the Bandstand. In 1909, the merchants of Wartrace constructed a wooden platform on this site. The platform was used as a stage for performances by the merchants band and the judges reviewing stand for the horse shows that were then held on Front Street. The bandstand is constructed over a sulfur water well. The supposed medicinal benefits of the sulfur water attracted many visitors to the town in the early part of the 20th century, and people began referring to the bandstand as the well house. An article in the newspaper in the 1930s read, 32 rooms at the hotel were full of this Saturday, and the majority of the visitors came to get water from the well. The well has since been sealed for health reasons. After World War II, a group of veterans enclosed the upstairs as a meeting place. The Wartrace Development Corporation, a civic organization, had the lower concrete floor covered with bricks from the Wartrace High School, which was demolished in 1976. The bandstand is now a popular location for musical events, gospel singings, ice cream suppers, and other public gatherings. So this is a very historic site right over here. And as you can see, it stands over a well, or it used to be a well. This is Main Street right here. So you have the law offices of Beverly McGabey and J. Patrick Parnell. Iron Horse Brick Oven Pizza and Saloon. So another small town joint right here. Now this is the Tennessee Walking Horse National Museum. So the Tennessee Walking Horse National Museum right over here is a museum that showcases the Tennessee Walking Horse, which is where Wartrace is the hub of. The walking horse is a breed of gaited horse known for its unique 4-beat run and walk and flashy movement. So Wartrace has been the headquarters for the Tennessee Walking Horse National Museum since 2012. And this right here, my friend, is Wartrace Town Hall. And also what you have right over here looks like an antique shop. It's a nice rocking chair right there. You have right here what used to be a winery. It was called the Big Creek back in the day. I guess this is like a catering shop right here. But I wanted to come over here at the corner of Main Street and Vine Street to get this old Texaco station. And this was the garage where they would do oil changes. We sell Standard Motor Oil. Standard Motor Oil was a big motor oil company back in the day. And of course you have the old school gas pumps. 35 cents per gallon. Could you imagine 35 cents a gallon gas still existed? Man, I feel like most of us will be filthy rich by now. And all the amount of money that we'd be able to save from gas. But this is a really nice community here in Wartrace. They have a restaurant called Shabby Sweets and Eats. Yeah. So here's a wide shot of this beautiful downtown area, Main Street. Cradle of the Tennessee walking horse. Walk across this railroad track. Over here to Wartrace Memorial Park. So a really spacious park over here. It has a non-operational fountain right over here, but you do have these seating areas. You have these benches. Ebony's Threats Profession, 1993 4-year-old world grand champion, June 23rd, 1989 to August 2nd, 1994. So Ebony's Threats Professor looks like was a walking horse that won the grand champion in the competition. Wartrace Memorial Park. You have a caboose over here off the Louisville and Nashville Railroad. So a very historical jewel right here in Wartrace. Wartrace was another stop along the Louisville and Nashville railroads. And it sits right over here by the railroad tracks, of course. Andrew Jackson. Wartrace is located on a 5,000-acre North Carolina grant acquired by General Andrew Jackson at the 1802 Marshall Sale in Nashville. In 1805, Jackson came to the area to establish his boundaries for the opening of the lands for settlement by the Third Treaty of Tellico. In 1806, he returned to survey this property to sell to settlers on Wartrace Creek. The land is part of 85,000 acres on the Three Forks of Duck River, granted to John Gray Blunt and Thomas Blunt in 1793. So Wartrace, of course, a very old town. And this here is just a marker that commemorates the skirmish at Liberty Gap that took place during the Civil War between June 24th and 26th of 1863. So that was led by the Cleburne Division, Major General Patrick Cleburne. And they have these little seats right here dedicated to the brave and gallant soldiers in butternut and gravy. Sergeant Major Larry E. and Sheila Williams, U.S. Army, retired December 10th, 2011. Okay. And another marker commemorating the Tullahoma campaign. Again, that took place in June of 1863, between June 24th and July 4th, 1863. And Hardee's Corps at Wartrace. Wartrace was a major battle site. And you had Major General Patrick Cleburne right here. And you had General William, Confederate Lieutenant General William Hardee. So again, this let me see, General Hardee headquartered at nearby Beechwood, the plantation home of Colonel Andrew Irwin, held the line around Wartrace for 2 divisions, one commanded by General Patrick Cleburne, the other by Major General A.P. Stewart. So this was a huge battle site between the Union and the Confederate Army. And there's a headstone for him. So it's just a monument for General Cleburne and 2nd Army Corps Commander Hardee, Army of Tennessee. Well, that concludes this short vlog here in Wartrace, Tennessee. Nice little small town. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. That way, and also the notification bell. That way you can get notified every time I drop a new vlog. That in mind, I'm out of here and see you on the next one. Peace.